This godless communism. Today, outside the walls of communist headquarters in Moscow, a long line of curious Russians is wending its way into a small building. Inside, the line files past the bodies of Vladimir Lenin, the founder of Russian communism, and Joseph Stalin, the man who followed him to power. This is the story of Vladimir Lenin, the man who took the teachings of Marx and welded them into the communism we know today. Lenin was born in Russia in 1870. At 17, he was already in trouble. "Young man, you have been arrested for your anti-government activities, and you are being expelled from the university." In the next few years, Lenin and a few close friends studied the writings of Karl Marx. "Comrade, Karl Marx had the answer. Now it is up to us to enlarge on his practices and put them into practice in Russia." Lenin became an accepted Marxist leader. "As followers of Marx, we will use every means possible to overcome those who stand in our way. Remember, comrades, whatever furthers the revolution is good. That is our only moral law." Once again, he was arrested for anti-government activities. "You are to spend 14 months in prison. On your release, you'll be deported to Siberia." Following his imprisonment and exile, Lenin went to Switzerland. "I will start a newspaper which we can smuggle into Russia. It will urge the people to revolt against the government. It will tell them of Marx's plan for a heaven on earth." He sifted Marx's ideas, working out details. "I am convinced, comrade, that the only way to bring Marx's ideas into actual practice is through a small, highly trained group of people. We will teach them how to stir up the citizens of a country so that they will overthrow their government. But some who believe in Marx's ideas think that we should try to group together and convince others of our beliefs. The larger the group becomes, the more powerful it will be. No! The larger a group gets, the more confused and weak it gets. The kind of group I want will be small, but every member will work without the rest to destroy the present society." Lenin spread his beliefs at Marxist meetings. "We will have a small band of well-trained workers. Like an army, they will take orders from their leaders without question. Our first target will be Russia. Trained Marxists, using every possible method, will excite the people into overthrowing their government. Once that is done, we can get communists into power." Those Marxists who agreed with Lenin became known as Bolsheviks. "Lenin is right. A small group can press communism on Russia much more easily. When Russia falls, we will become the leaders." Note: the United States today is claimed to have a patriarchal society, but note that communist Russia was very much a patriarchal society, founded by men and run by men. Under Lenin's directions, small groups of Bolshevists began their secret work of creating a communist, godless Russia. By robbing, by spreading lies, in order to buy arms, and by studying how to use them. Thus, the Bolsheviks, later to be called the Communist Party, were born. They are the sinful roots created by Lenin to grow the sinful seed planted by Karl Marx. Such evil roots could grow nothing but evil fruit. Lenin became the supreme leader of the Bolsheviks. "If you are a Bolshevik, you must do exactly what Lenin says." "Yes, what he says is always right." Joseph Stalin and Nikita Khrushchev were to follow Lenin's lead. The leader of the Communist Party would henceforth be the supreme ruler, the dictator who could do no wrong. Dictator Lenin, Stalin, Khrushchev. Communist Party. The government. The people. In fact, Joseph Stalin was already beginning to learn from Lenin in 1905 in Finland. It is an honor to meet you. I have heard of your work, comrade. You let nothing and nobody stand in your way. That is good, as long as you follow my orders. We must keep working secretly, training our Bolshevik group, both within Russia and in other countries. Then, when the time is ripe, we will get the people of Russia to revolt. Bolsheviks will be the leaders of the fight, and the people will do the fighting for them. In 1917, Russia has been fighting in the world a long time, yet all it has to show for its fight against Germany is lost land and lost lives. Perhaps the time for revolution is ripe. Direct our people to break down the morale of the Russian army. The Bolsheviks say we are in hopeless war, that we should stop fighting. Maybe they are right. Tell them to incite riots among the workers in the cities. Rise up and fight your masters. Now is the time to get a government that will put an end to war and give you what belongs to you. And tell them to prepare to seize the Russian government headquarters in Petrograd. Distribute arms to the peasants who will follow our orders. Promise them land. Later, we shall take it away from them. Our beliefs are built on hate. Now is the time to use that hatred. Long live Marx and Lenin! Lenin appointed Leon Trotsky to organize the actual revolution. If I am seen in Russia, I will be arrested. It is up to you to organize the revolt. Arrange for the telephone, telegraph, and the railroad offices to be seized. Gain control of the bridges. Trotsky journeyed to Petrograd. A meeting of the Petrograd army leaders is to be held soon. If I could talk them into following Lenin. Trotsky succeeded in his plan. You have promised us much, and what you promise sounds good to us. Why should we defend the government? We will help to overthrow it. November 6, 1917. It is time to strike. With what we have promised the people, it should be easy. Get going. By the end of the day, nearly all important places in the city were held by the Bolsheviks. But the main government building, called the Winter Palace, was still in government hands, guarded by a small group of loyal soldiers. To be continued in the next episode of This Godless Communism.